this one is a really cool one. That's what I say about all of them. But this one, this is a cool one. This is a 1934 National Trojan single cone biscuit resonator. And I picked it up a few weeks ago and fixed it up, and I'm loving it. I did one of these last spring, and then I sold it, and I sort of had seller's remorse because I just love it. I've got a National Style 1 tricone that I love, but these single cone ones is a whole different sound, and the wood body just gives it a different sound as well. Now, a little history on these Trojans. The Trojans were made back in the 30s and into the 40s by Harmony, actually. They built the bodies and the neck and put it together and sent it to National, and then National did the hardware. So National put in the cone, the tailpiece, resonator cover, machines, I assume. Maybe, I'm not sure if Harmony did the machines or not. And then there's two series of these. There's the T serial numbers, and there's the Z's. And I've gotten conflicting reports on the internet, like you always do. But what the consensus seems to be is the T ones had the National, shield up top. The Z serial number ones, which were made exactly the same, were usually branded as Supertones and sold through Sears and that sort of thing under the Supertone label. So anyway, this is a T number. It's a very low serial number. It's T, I can't remember if it's 61 or 91, which puts this as a 1934 build. So this thing is 90 years old, and I love that about it. I'm also kind of a big fan of Harmonies. I'm looking up here on my wall. I got two of them hanging right there waiting to be started. Another one over there that's almost done, X-Brace. So I'm pretty familiar with how they're put together. This is a standard, just sort of a O body sized, has a standard dovetail joint. It does not have the dowel that goes all the way through like a real, quote, real National. This has a dovetail joint, and then it's got a center bar underneath that supports the sound well. So it's a little different. On a National, you'll have a long tenon that sticks all the way through, and it actually attaches at the other end. So it gets shimmed up and down, and by taking material off the neck, that's how you change neck angle. And I did that on my Style 1, so I'm kind of familiar with that. But this is a simple build in that it's a dovetail, just like a regular acoustic. This one was somewhat rough, but, decent shape when I got it. It's got some natural patina from play wear all the way around, and just, wear that's happened over the years. It had a crack on the side that I repaired on the inside. The biggest damage on this one is someone had tried to do the dreaded screw through the heel neck reset. And, you put a big screw here, and you keep tightening it, and you hope that gradually bends the neck back. It doesn't, and what it does is just tear the crap out of the neck heel. And so this one had this big screw, and on top of that, it was a straight slot. It wasn't a Phillips, and it was completely stripped. So I had to drill the screw out, and basically once that screw came out, the entire neck heel just disintegrated. The thing fell apart. So this, I grafted in, nice piece of hard maple with a cap on the end here that's about 1/2 inch thick of ebony. So this is really strong. It's got a brass bar running down the neck heel on the inside. And on top of that, during this little screw process they had done, the dovetail itself had obviously broken off, and they had glued it back on. So when I reset the neck, the dovetail came right off. So that dovetail has also been reattached on the inside, glued, and then with a reinforcement plate screwed into the neck heel itself. So that's not going anywhere either. I left it kind of relic looking, so it looks like it sort of belongs. But you can, if you look closely, you can see the line where that grafted piece of wood has gone onto the heel. After that, fingerboard was in rough shape, and the frets were tiny little skinny ones that were bending up on the edges. So I pulled the whole fretboard off, and it was that ebonized maple that just crumbles. So this is a brand new East Indian rosewood fretboard. It's got brand new gold frets on it that are medium higher, which is sort of Stu Mac's way of saying jumbo. It's got a brand new cone from National, so it's a National cone with the shields on it. And the original biscuit, but with a brand new maple saddle that I cut and put into the top. Neck angle is such that the string break angle is sufficient. It's nice, so it's got plenty of pressure on that cone, but not so much that it's going to collapse. The old cone was absolutely crumbled and was actually being held up in the middle by a string spool, like you'd have thread on, a thread spool. And that just defeats the purpose. If you're holding the cone up, how is it resonating? So anyway, that was in rough shape. Res cover is just awesome old relic. You can see the pick wear here where the nickel's worn off. It's all the way down to the brass. I put a brand new nut on the top. It does have the existing original tuners which work really nicely. The B tuner is a little looser. It kind of goes back both ways, so you got to loosen up and then tighten up the pitch. So that seems to work fine. But it's just got a great sound. I love the tone. See if I can do something with this slide on my finger. I'm not very good at this, but... Anyway, that's it. Open D tuning, 1934, National Trojan. Serial number is T91. Got the National shield up top. Brand new cone, original tailpiece, new saddle, original biscuit, new fretboard, gold frets, new bone nut. Oh, last little thing, this kind of ornamentation stuff around the neck, around the fretboard extension, and up on the top. It was an add-on of mine. At the original neck reset, it had been epoxied back on, and there was a big glob of epoxy that I had to remove, and it just removed the finish right around that. So I decided to add just a little Cocobolo trim around that so that it covers up all those flaws. I think it looks kind of cool. Anyway, 34 National Trojan, made by Harmony, finished by National. Great 90-year-old piece of American history. It's not for sale quite yet, but by the time this thing is linked to a Reverb ad, obviously it will be, but I'm going to enjoy this one for a little while. So, hey, thanks a lot for watching.